All right, Celtic supporters, here we are again, gearing up for another massive European night, and the buzz around the club is as electric as ever. The build-up to this match has been full of excitement, speculation, and a fair bit of nervous energy. And with the squad making their way to the Netherlands, you can feel the tension mounting. It's always a different kind of challenge to play on the road in Europe, and historically, away results in these competitions have shaped the legacy of this team for generations. Think back to those early European nights decades ago, a time when the names on the team sheet were entirely different, the players younger, the style of football contrasting sharply with the modern game, and yet the essence of Celtic's ambition on the continental stage has always remained. It's a point often made by managers and former players alike how football evolves, but the expectation of excellence never changes, and it's exactly that pressure that drives players to give their utmost. Yesterday, there were press conferences, chats with Martin O'Neill, and discussions with players like Austin Trusty, who fielded questions about the current opposition, Feyenoord, and their manager, Robin van Persie. Trusty was careful with his words, acknowledging his contacts with US national team teammates without divulging too much, understanding the fine line between respect for opponents and strategic insight. In these situations, there's always a balancing act, a need to be honest yet cautious, and it's the same in every high-stakes European tie. You can't afford to underestimate anyone, and at the same time, you need to protect your own tactical approaches. The atmosphere in these pre-match briefings always gives a sense of the underlying tension, a reminder that every word is scrutinized, every statement interpreted, and every hint of confidence or doubt can set the tone for the upcoming fixture. Turning to Feyenoord, it's clear they're going through a tough patch. The early part of the season saw them flying high, with optimism around Van Persie's management, despite some initial skepticism regarding his inexperience at the helm. Successive wins built confidence, players were performing well, and everything seemed to point towards another strong campaign domestically. Yet football is cruel in its unpredictability, and a crucial home defeat against PSV, a rival at the top of the table, marked the beginning of a slump that has left them vulnerable in certain fixtures. Losses against Stuttgart were perhaps understandable, but defeats to teams they were expected to overcome exposed gaps in fitness, squad depth, and consistency. Discussions with fans like podcaster Luke from Rotterdam highlighted that the main concern at Feyenoord is the physical readiness of the squad. Matches often start with energy and intensity, with high-quality first halves, yet the stamina falters and the second half becomes a struggle. This trend has persisted across recent seasons, leaving Van Persie to navigate the delicate balance between maintaining an attacking philosophy and managing the players' capacity to execute it. Van Persie's approach, while ambitious, sometimes appears to stretch his squad beyond its limits. The pressing style and desire to dominate possession and play expansive football demand a level of fitness that the current roster is struggling to consistently provide. Luke noted that while Van Persie has grown into his managerial role and shows clear development in handling the team and media engagements, there's still a sense of naivety in how he positions the squad against physically strong, tactically disciplined opponents. It's an admirable intent to press and attack, but European nights are rarely forgiving, and the intensity required can often expose the margins. Despite this, Van Persie is widely respected by supporters for his footballing intelligence, past achievements as a player, and the potential he brings as a coach. The expectation is that he will continue to adapt, learn from the recent setbacks, and guide the team back to the form that initially impressed everyone this season. Feyenoord's fans remain acutely aware of the stakes. The upcoming clash against Celtic is treated as a must-win scenario, not just for pride, but for the pragmatic objective of staying competitive in Europe and securing the best possible league position. In Rotterdam, discussions about a crisis are nuanced. The club has experienced turbulence in the past, yet the environment is never far from expectation, and every match has weight. Losing streaks are rare but impactful, and while the fans are not in panic mode yet, a defeat to Celtic could ignite significant pressure. The league situation offers some breathing room, with Feyenoord sitting in second place and aiming for Champions League qualification, so the broader context tempers the immediate reaction, but there's no hiding the importance of this tie. Every player knows that performance on Thursday night is not just about points, it's about pride, momentum, and proving that they can compete at the highest level. Key players in the Feyenoord squad have emerged as decisive figures. The Japanese contingent, including striker Ayase Ue and central defender Watanabe, have shown glimpses of quality and impact, contributing both goals and defensive stability. Ayase has had a strong start to the season, and although his scoring form has hit a brief lull, he remains a player to watch, particularly in matches against high-profile European opposition. Watanabe's presence at the back has been reassuring, combining tactical awareness with physical strength, and adds balance to the squad. Midfield dynamo Luciano Valence has also been influential since his transfer from a mid-table side, impressing with his adaptation to the club's demands and providing creativity and control in the engine room. On the wings, Anise Haj Musa presents a unique challenge, combining technical flair with unpredictability, capable of unlocking defenses with skill, but also prone to unconventional decisions that can shift the game's rhythm. These individuals represent the tools Feyenoord will rely upon, and the interplay between fitness, tactical awareness, and individual brilliance will be crucial against a Celtic side that thrives on discipline, speed, and European experience. From Celtic's perspective, the focus remains on squad health and tactical setup. Injury news is always a point of interest ahead of such clashes, with Kelechi Iheanacho making the trip to the Netherlands, offering potential options off the bench, while Marcelo Sarra remains sidelined. The projected starting 11 is shaping up around a solid defensive line, anchored by key figures and supported by midfielders capable of linking play and providing both creativity and cover up front. The usual attacking trio is tasked with exploiting any vulnerabilities Feyenoord may present, particularly in transitions and defensive gaps. Away form has historically been a challenge for Celtic, and despite home dominance, European nights require composure, adaptability, and seizing the moments that arise. The balance between defensive security and attacking initiative will define the team's chances as they look to assert themselves on Feyenoord's turf and establish an early foothold in the game. The atmosphere in Rotterdam will be unusual, with parts of the stadium empty due to sanctions affecting the fanatic sections and potentially reducing the volume and pressure that Feyenoord usually generates. Yet football is played on the pitch, not in the stands, and both teams will need to adapt to the environment. The absence of certain vocal supporters may shift dynamics subtly, but the technical and tactical execution will ultimately dictate the result. European ties often hinge on fine margins, and Celtic's ability to capitalize on counter-attacks, exploit space, and manage moments of pressure will be central. Feyenoord's counter-attacking vulnerability, highlighted by fans and analysts alike, offers Celtic an avenue to press advantage, but execution must be precise and concentration unwavering. Historically, the encounters between these clubs have carried significance beyond points, embodying pride, history, and the unique spirit of European football. Away days in Glasgow have long been remembered for their intensity and atmosphere, and Celtic fans understand the weight of these moments. And likewise, Rotterdam supporters are acutely aware of the importance of European nights at home. This mutual respect and rivalry add layers of context to the fixture, and for players on the field, it's about demonstrating capability, resilience, and tactical intelligence under pressure. The clash is more than a game. It's an assertion of identity, a test of preparation, and a demonstration of how each side approaches challenges on the continental stage. In terms of gameplay, attention will focus on transitions, midfield control, and the ability to maintain composure when under sustained pressure. Celtic will look to use pace on the flanks, the creativity of midfield operators, and the finishing quality of their forwards to exploit any lapses in Feyenoord's defensive organisation. Conversely, Feyenoord's reliance on individual talent and moments of inspiration will be counterbalanced by the need to maintain fitness and manage the tempo across 90 minutes. The interplay between these elements, the strategic, the physical, and the technical, creates the theatre that is European football, where preparation meets unpredictability and moments of brilliance can define outcomes. So, as the squads prepare, the managers plot their strategies, and the fans anticipate the spectacle. The stage is set for a night that promises tension, drama, and football of the highest caliber. Celtic travel with the hope of asserting themselves, exploiting weaknesses, and showing the sort of discipline that has earned them respect across Europe, while Feyenoord aims to re-establish form, maintain composure, and harness the quality within their ranks to secure the result that keeps their campaign alive. In games like these, every pass, tackle, and decision is amplified, every opportunity carries weight, and the outcome can hinge on the smallest of margins, making preparation, focus, and execution absolutely essential. As we look ahead to Thursday night, the tension and anticipation around this tie continue to build, and you can almost feel it through every discussion, every analysis, and every fan chat. European nights are a unique breed of football, and when you combine Celtic's travelling support with the quality that Feyenoord can bring to the pitch, it's always going to be an occasion filled with intensity and tactical intrigue. Away games in Europe require adaptability, patience, and a keen eye for exploiting weaknesses while maintaining defensive solidity. And that's exactly what both sides will be thinking about as they prepare. Celtic's approach, guided by Wilfried Nons, has been to balance creativity with structure, knowing that any lapse in concentration could be immediately punished by a team of Feyenoord's caliber. The Dutch side, despite recent struggles, retain pockets of brilliance in attack, and with players like Ayasa Yue and Watanabe capable of moments of individual quality, the danger is always present. One of the key talking points leading into this match has been Feyenoord's fitness, or rather, the apparent lack of it in the later stages of games. As highlighted by fans and analysts alike, the team often begins matches with energy and cohesion, executing Van Persie's tactical plans with precision, but as the minutes tick by, the intensity dips. Pressing becomes less effective, defensive Coverage wanes and passing accuracy can suffer, creating gaps for opponents to exploit. Celtic, aware of this pattern, will be looking to maintain composure, circulate the ball effectively, and apply pressure in bursts, particularly as the game enters the final quarter. The first goal, as always, will be crucial. It can change the psychology of the match, shifting momentum and forcing one team to chase while the other consolidates. In games of this level, scoring early can set the tone for the night, and Celtic will be hoping that their forwards can find the space and timing to strike. Tactically, it's interesting to consider how both teams might set up. Feyenoord's preference for a high press and attacking football contrasts with Celtic's more measured approach on the road. When defending deep, Celtic will aim to remain compact, deny space between the lines, and exploit counterattacks with pace. Players like Tenki on the left wing and Dyson on the right offer the kind of acceleration that can stretch Feyenoord's defence, particularly if the Dutch fullbacks push high and leave gaps in behind. Kenny up front, while not particularly rapid, offers hold-up play and an ability to link midfield and attack, allowing Celtic to control transitions and manage possession in key areas. The midfield trio, likely featuring McGregor, Engels and Negron, must be disciplined, ensuring that Feyenoord's creative outlets such as Luciano Valença monitored closely, while also providing options for quick distribution to the flanks or through balls to forwards exploiting the channels. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. In Aulgleska this morning, the word drift in Rune, Kerrydale Street, Wisney, gist idle chat. A rumour, sharp as a winter easterly, began tay whip through the Celtic support. Peter Lawwell, the long-standing figure, hired at Parkhead, has supposedly tightened the reins and delivered a stern summons to the rest of the board. Folk close to the club whisper that Lawwell, usually measured in tone, has raised his voice abune the usual boardroom murmur and demanded an immediate turn in fortunes, insisting that Celtic cannae afford to slide any further off their own high standards. There's talk of heated conversations in corridors that didn't normally echo with such tension. Some say Lawwell's displeasure. Camfrey watching a pattern he recognizes all too well, a drift he's determined to halt before it seeds only deeper unease among the support. He is said to have pressed for clarity, urgency, and a spark that's been missing for the club's rhythm. Insiders claim this wasn't a polite nudge, but a firm gauntlet thrown, the kind of challenge that leaves no room for dithering. Among fans spilling out the pubs and cafes, the chatter has taken a life o' its ain. If Lawwell stepped in, ye ken it's serious, muttered one punter, pint in hand as if speaking for thousands. Another reckoned this shift could signal a bigger shake-up brewing behind the scenes, though nae one can say for certain whether that's wishful thinking or genuine foresight. Whatever the truth, there's a palpable thrum in the air, the feeling that something is stirring beneath the green and white surface. Celtic Park has known its share o' drama, but this latest murmur suggests a storm brewing higher up the ladder. And while nane can yet see the outcome, the sense o' expectation or dread, depending on who ye ask, is growing by the hour. For now, the rumour swirls on, gathering weight like a low cloud o'er the Clyde. One thing's for sure, if Peter Lawwell truly has drawn a line in the sand, the next move at Celtic will may go unnoticed. Hello, fan. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, Share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.